You know, Americans with memories that last longer than a TikTok post might recall some important milestones in the circus-like history of political fear-mongering and self-congratulations over COVID-19 coming from the politicians. And now we get new information about one government program that the politically connected applauded like trained seals.
Such as seals.
And when you see how the special people benefited at your expense, you'll understand why the seals clapped all the way to the bank. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV. You know, if Liberty lovers think back to July, they might recall my piece about the St. Louis Fed reporting that 75% of Paycheck Protection Program PPP loans never reached the workers whom the politicians told us they were helping. Now, folks might also recall that in December of 2020, there were reports telling us that multi-millionaire celebrity quarterback Tom Brady's sports performance nutrition company received $960,855 in PPP loans. They might remember that in July of 2020, a Florida man was accused of taking nearly $4 million in PPP loans and buying a Lamborghini. They might also recall that although many DC politicians claimed the PPP loans were for small businesses with 500 or fewer employees to receive up to $10 million in forgivable loans, most of the same politicians tilted that loan money chute towards large corporations by allowing corporations with divisions or subcorporations of 500 or fewer employees to receive the loans, one atop another atop another. And folks might also remember Forbes reporting in September of 2020 that 88% of corporations receiving this PPP redistribution of wealth welfarism, well, you got it, they never paid it back. And now comes the new insult added to the injuries. It reminds us to keep our eye on principle, not just the insult, even as we feel the sting of these insults. Martha Ross writes for East Bay Times all about this, and their headline sort of gives us a hint. Quote, Kanye West, Tom Brady, Jared Kushner, Reese Witherspoon, other celebs had millions in PPP loans forgiven, end quote. Yep, because of course the loans were never really loans. They were handouts, forgivable from the start. Oh, and lest we forget some of the glitterati out west, the subhead of this piece notes, businesses associated with Khloe Kardashian, Jay-Z, and Paul Pelosi also were let off the hook in paying back loans meant to help small businesses struggling during the COVID-19 so-called pandemic. End quote. Ross offers an example of the paycheck so-called protection that was snatched from our paychecks and handed to others. Quote, rapper and fashion mogul Kanye West received millions in PPP loans in 2020 for his Yeezy fashion line, not long after declaring himself a billionaire, signing a 10-year collaboration with Gap, and going public with plans to build a 52,000 square foot mansion on his ranch in Wyoming, the Daily Beast reported in July of 2020. His Yeezy LLC borrowed $2,363,585 with $1,772,689 being spent on payroll for a 106-member staff, the Daily Mail said. While the status of this loan is not disclosed, the Daily Mail said a Yeezy subsidiary borrowed $15,625 for one employee, and all but $147 was forgiven. That's awesome. All right. Oh, and by the way, Tom Brady's company, TB12, received nearly $1 million. However, quote, not only did Brady's company not return the loan, it asked to not pay it back. The full amount of the loan plus interest of nearly $12,000 was fully forgiven, the Daily Mail said. Yeah, that's great. And Jared Kushner? Quote, Kushner's family was granted 3 PPP loans for various businesses while he helped lead his father-in-law's response to the so-called pandemic, according to the Daily Mail. The Kushner family's newspaper publisher, Observer Holdings LLC, was approved in the first round of loans on April 27, 2020, the Daily Mail said. The company received an $800,407 loan, which was used to save 41 jobs. The loan, including interest, was forgiven in full, end quote. Hey, don't expect a thank you note from Jared in the mail, my dear friends. And oh, by the way, don't expect one from Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, either. Paul Pelosi is another politically connected figure who has a business that benefited from PPP forgiveness. Paul Pelosi has an 8.1% share in EDI Associates, a North Bay-based restaurant business that took out 2 PPP loans, the Daily Mail said. Its loans for $711,708 and $996,392 were both, ding ding, forgiven. However, even as one sees this infuriating news, and even as one thinks about the smug, self-righteous way many people like Paul Pelosi and his charming wife behave, we can remind ourselves that these are just the surface level of a much deeper problem. As I noted for MRC-TV in July, not a single penny of those so-called loans was constitutional, and no one can argue that there's any morality in taking money from us to pay to others. Be the payment a loan or a so-called forgivable loan, all of it is just sheer wealth movement away from us to others. That's immoral. The superficial level is angering, but the next level down, the constitutional level, is more important than any rich and connected people got served again frustration that we might hear coming out of this. Even if the money had gone to poor people, however one wants to define that term, the Constitution doesn't allow it. And more important, on the deepest level, the moral level, that morality forbids this type of thing being done through the force of the state. Politicians who do this sort of thing, the people who receive the money, and those of us who watch this. It's up to us to explain to people the immorality of this. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll see you in the comments section. Also, if you get the opportunity, check us out on Rumble because they don't censor us there. We'd love to get even more subscribers there. And hit the plus under the video. That helps push us up in the algorithms. Please visit MRCTV.org. That's MRCTV.org to find out what the whole team is doing. And while you're there, visit the MRC Store to help the Media Research Center in its 35th year. You can also find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And I'm on Twitter at Gard Goldsmith, and I'm on Gab as at Gardner Goldsmith. Thanks so much for watching, kindred spirits. Take care.